Imagine you and I are together and you ask me, who's the best singer ever? And I, of course, would say, oh man, that's Elvis Presley. And you could rightly ask, wait a second, wasn't Elvis kind of a rotten husband and father and a major league player? Well, after I encouraged you to never say player again, what would you think if I got really agitated and said, what? Elvis is way better than any of the current singers. They all use auto-tune. Apparently you like crummy music and you want the rest of us to suffer because of it. How dare you criticize the king of rock and roll? I don't want to be friends with you, and I definitely don't want to go to church with you. You would conclude my love for Elvis has blinded me and made me unwilling to even acknowledge his personal flaws, let alone critique them. Now, this is by no means a perfect illustration, but it's my observation that many Christians are actually like that when it comes to not a singer, but to a politician. You want him to be president 1,000 times more than the alternative. But why are so many of us reticent to allow any sort of criticism for holding positions that aren't biblical? Like you, I gotta confess, I'm kind of shocked that the current president agreed to a debate with the Don.
Will you shut up, man?
I can't imagine this is going to go well for him. And like you, I plan on voting for the candidate whose positions and platform best align with Christian values, even when not perfectly. And while I can't mention names, there's one candidate and party that is clearly dedicated to downright wicked policies regarding life and marriage and genders and sexuality and the mutilation of confused children.
The idea that an 8-year-old child or a 10-year-old child decides, I decided I want to be transgender. That's what I think I'd like to be. It'll make my life a lot easier. There should be zero discrimination.
And unlike some, I'll just come out and say it. I believe it would be a sin to vote for that party if there is a moral alternative. Having said that, I'd like to challenge you perhaps to do something that might actually help our Christian witness. And this might not be easy for some of us. Watch the debate, but not for blood sport. Don't just watch it and applaud the zingers.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Instead, watch it to listen to each man's position on issues of genuine concern for us Bible-believing Christians. Where does each fellow stand on life, beginning and end of life issues, marriage, gender, sexuality, the mutilation of our children? No doubt, one man is going to reveal very clearly that he's not even as Catholic as the current Pope, and his positions are as godless as imaginable. But if we're going to be Christian witnesses and not separate our beliefs from our political interests, and we have some, we have to assess both candidates and be willing to say, hey, well, I'm going to vote for him. He's got some unbiblical positions from which he needs to repent. Now, this is going to be a challenge because, let's be honest, the current administration, honestly, just up is down, down is up. What's good is evil. We want someone better. The economy's trash, religious liberty under assault. We want the nation that we once loved, but that doesn't mean we should have blind allegiance, an uncritical allegiance to the better alternative when positions aren't as biblical as we want them to be. And if you struggle with this, I feel you, but I challenge you to watch the debate with a willingness to be as critical of both candidates as you can be. This will not cause an election to be lost. This isn't the middle road. This isn't neither left nor right. This isn't compromising, but it will tell the world our convictions do not stop at the door of political expediency. Our faith comes first. Now, If you think that I'm not willing to take my own medicine, watch, can be done. While Elvis had the greatest voice in all of human history, his personal morals didn't match his vocal prowess. Not easy, but it can be done. No, wait, it must be done if we are going to be salt and light and preeminently interested with building Christ's kingdom. Up for it? Discuss. There are not many things for kids to do, nor many ministries that make it to Eastern Europe. But Tomorrow Clubs do, bringing the gospel to kids in far-flung villages in Eastern Europe. If you haven't had the chance to become a Tomorrow Club ministry partner, $1 per child per month can provide Christ-centered discipleship for a member of the next generation. TomorrowClubs.org/wretched.